Now, what we need to do is, the RN is supposed to be released here. You only need to release the scale there, okay? So we'll just bring this here, okay? And we'll just release this also from here. And we will release this, okay? Now, what we need to do is, we need to create a doctors group, okay? So let us create a group for the staff by that method. So I am just shift selecting these two doctors, right clicking into, I need to add a new group. In this group, I'll assign the parent group to the staff, and I'll just rename these as MDs, okay? Similarly, let's do it for nurses or nursings. Adding a new group here, going into the object groups, add new groups in here, and I'll put this as, RNs, basically RNs, and similarly we'll assign these to the staff, okay? So now, what do we need to do? We have assigned the staffs, we have the things and systems into the place. Now we need to add an activity set for, the bed placement, okay? Bed placement in the sense, we are going to have this, the activity set for the the patients, okay? So in this step, what we are going to do is, we are going to use a escort, in the process activity set to model the patient being escorted to the scale, okay, and then to the examination table. In this table, you will also see how the staff groups you set up earlier in the tutorial, which we did. And when a staff member is required to help a patient, you can assign any member of the group to help the patient, whichever is available, okay, from the group. Now, when needed, the process flow will select the first available member of this group, and that's what we're going to see. Using object groups will help us model scale as well as it becomes more complex. It makes so that you can add extra chairs, clerks, and etc. as needed without having changing the model's logic. Okay, so that's the benefit of the process flow. What I was talking about is that you just need to add the quantities of the operators of the stations will automatically get upgraded in the group, and you need not have to modify the logic. It will automatically be taking care of itself. Okay. So now let us do, we have a person flow, we have arrivals. In the library, okay, what you're going to do is, you're going to click on the library, okay, and in the healthcare activity sets, okay, you can see here, you will have the activity sets of the process flows and stuff like that. There would be a escort then process activity set. Okay, and that is what we need to use into the patient process flow. Okay, now what we're gonna do is, let us create this thing. So when you click on here, you will probably be having that process flow coming out here. Okay, but let us have people, add a person flow. Okay, here is the person flow coming, but probably what has to be done is we have to continue with this, okay, because we already created these details out. So it should not be that you are creating another process flow for another activities. You need to create a single process flow with all the activities embedded or included into the system. Okay, so that is how it works. So now let us put that, what I was talking about is that escort then process flow. Okay, we have this here. Now we are renaming this to weigh at scale. Okay, so what was happening is that the persons were coming, putting their something to be entered, then the patient used to wait in the waiting area, and now these patients are supposed to go to the weigh scale and make their weight, and that has to be done by acquiring someone from the system. Okay, So we rename this weighted scale, and then we need to basically also put in the details of the staffs and stuff like that. Okay, now what we are going to do is, into the location box, okay, here if you could see, I'm directly dragging it to the scale. Okay, so that's where the scale got selected. Okay, but for the staff, what we're going to do is, we are going to get the staff RNs. So we need to go to the group and we need to select RN. Okay, so we are going to use nurses to escort the patients to this scale and the stuffs, support system staff. And then when we talk about the process, process time, here you see this. Here we are supposed to put in the details of the timings of the process, that how much probably a time should be required. Okay, so let us put this to 0 to 1 minute. Okay, this is how it is going to work on. And now in the release thing, we are going to have this staff being released whenever it's going to be done, right? And this is how the process will look like. But now when I talk about this, we are basically acquiring the stations. Like what I can say is that we are acquiring the location, that is the way scale, right? So let's rename this to scale. Okay, so acquire scale, it got automatically changed, and acquire staff, it will automatically. So if you just rename this to say RN, it's like acquire RN. Okay, now but the one thing we need to do is, we need to first acquire the table, because if the table is not acquired, what are we going to do? By doing a weighing scale and stuff like that, right? So that is where what has to be done is, we need to acquire the resource. Acquire the location. And this location is going to be taken care by, the another thing which has to be taken care of. And that is bed placement. Okay. Now what we need to do is, we need to basically get in the exam table details, just like we did it for scale, and we need to have something to be entered in there. Okay, so let me what I can say is, copy paste this process flow here. Okay, and let me delete the details about that. Okay, that's not required anymore. And let us take one of the process, okay, and rename that to bed placement. Okay, so we have this bed placement here. Okay, now what we need to do is, the RN is supposed to be released here. We only need to release the scale there. Okay, so we'll just bring this here. Okay, and we'll just release this also from here, and we will release this. Okay, and as what I can say, we can release this as the exam table. So let us copy this here. Yes, we'll make this as exam table, and let us select that location group where we had the exam rooms, and let us release this here. Okay, and let us, what I can say is, the acquire location here as this. Okay, so I can rename here as exam table. Similarly, I can release here. I can release here. Sorry, I got something in here. Create person. Need to delete this. Okay, and we are going to rename this to exam table. For premium content, do not forget to visit our website leansimcorp.com, where you will be getting all these premium contents available. So talking about what things you're going to get in, you're going to get in, simulation solutions. you're going to get premium training classes for simulation stuffs. You will be getting 3ds model file support. You can buy modules, you can access to simulation case studies, you can visit our services. Also, you can visit the blogs which you're going to get. So I was talking about simulation solutions, right? You can schedule one-on-one session with us, for training and details. You can access our digital assets like learning center. Okay, so here comes the booking online appointment. Talking about training classes, you can access premium training classes. Once you are going to purchase our subscriptions, you will be able to access our training classes which are listed out here, and these are continuously getting upgraded, guys. Talking about blogs, here we bring in blogs from travel experiences, health, devotionals, like industrial engineering, personality development, simulation tech, and lot more interesting and exciting. So do not forget to visit our website leansimcorp.com for premium content, blogs, and lots more.